Picking a YouTube network can be quite confusing. You might come across some terms you haven't heard of yet, and generally there's just way too much misinformation out there. So hopefully by the end of this video you'll feel a lot more confident. Before we get started, I just wanted to thank Zlackery, which I hope is how you pronounce his name, for this awesome Smite gameplay you'll be seeing in the background. Make sure to check out his channel, you can find the link in the description. So let's start off by answering the most basic question. What is a network on YouTube and what do they do? So you might have heard the term MCN before, which stands for multi-channel network. MCN is what many people use when talking about networks on YouTube. Basically, the role of an MCN is to provide the partnered YouTube channel with a set of services in exchange for a percentage of their ad revenue. So what are these services? They can be several things, and each MCN offers something different. However, pretty much every decent MCN will offer you a higher CPM via more targeted ads. We'll talk about CPM a little bit more soon. MCNs can also help connect you with companies to get sponsorships, provide a community for you to get feedback from and collaborate with. Also, they give you a level of support which you really wouldn't have otherwise, meaning if you have a problem, you can actually contact someone. Other networks, such as the one I'm in now, offer things like no lock-in contracts, meaning you can leave anytime you want, and no minimum payouts, meaning you get paid every month no matter how much money you make. This should give you an idea of how MCNs can be useful for a channel. Now let's talk a bit more about CPM, since it's probably the most important factor when it comes to making money on YouTube. CPM stands for cost per mil meaning thousand in Latin. A common misconception is that CPM is how much money you make for every 1,000 views. This is not true. The CPM is the amount of money that advertisers pay to get 1,000 ad impressions. In other words, the CPM is how much money an advertiser is willing to pay to have 1,000 people see their ad. So why doesn't CPM mean the amount of money you'll get for every 1,000 views? Well, remember how we said the MCN takes a percentage of your revenue? If you have, for example, a 60-40 split with an MCN, which is actually pretty common, then straight off the bat, if your CPM is $10, you'll only be getting $6. Another pretty big factor is that not every view is a monetized view, meaning not every view counts towards your CPM. For example, if someone using AdBlock watches your video, it will count as a video view, but since they weren't shown any ads, their view wasn't monetized. Same goes for skippable pre-roll ads. If someone decides to skip the ad, then their view won't be counted as monetized. So CPM is definitely an important number, but it's also important to know exactly what CPM means. To give you an idea of how many monetized views you can expect, over the last few months while I was monetizing my videos through AdSense, I had 35,000 video views. And guess how many of those were monetized? Just over 5,000. So there you go. Now hopefully you understand what CPM is. A more relevant term for content creators is RPM, or revenue per 1,000 views, which is pretty much the average amount of money you earn for every 1,000 views. This will obviously be quite a bit lower than your CPM. So now you might be asking yourself, how exactly does an MCN increase your CPM? Well, here's how. When you're just partnered with Google's AdSense, then ads are simply assigned to your videos via some pretty complicated algorithms. And many times these ads aren't very well targeted for the audience of the channel. For example, if you make Minecraft videos and a female hygiene product ad comes up, there's a very small chance of a viewer actually being interested in that. Because of that, the advertiser will pay a pretty low CPM. However, what MCNs do is they actually have a team of people that try to sell ad space to companies relevant to your channel. They can sell these ads for a much higher CPM since the company knows it will be shown to a very targeted audience. So for example, if you make Minecraft videos, you might have a game trailer play as an ad on your video, which is probably much more interesting for your viewers and thus has a much higher chance of actually getting clicked. Now let's briefly go over some things you want to look out for and probably avoid. First off, obviously, are the scams. You completely want to avoid the scams. There are plenty of scam networks out there that want to take your money or take ownership of your content. Usually, these are networks that spam your inbox every now and then asking you to partner with them. Generally, if a network you've never heard of is private messaging you, asking you to join them, there's a pretty high chance of it being a scam, so be very careful. Another thing is read your contract and read it carefully. If you're taking things really seriously, maybe get a lawyer to help you read through it. There are contracts out there that can essentially take ownership of your content, or do things like lock you in with them for 2 or even more years. So to finish off this video, I would like to talk a little bit about my personal experience. A few days ago, I joined an MCN for the very first time. After doing quite a bit of research and getting accepted into a few networks, I decided to seal the deal with the Freedom Network. Just as a disclaimer, everything I'm about to say is my personal opinion. The Freedom Network isn't paying me to say any of this. Okay, so here's why I chose the Freedom Network, and why I think it's also a pretty good choice for you. On screen, you can see the main selling points of the Freedom Network. The most important ones for me were the no lock-in contract, the fact that you keep complete ownership of your channel and your content, and the no minimum payout requirements. Another thing I noticed since being partnered with them is just how great and friendly their community is. They have a really active forum where you can share your videos and collaborate with people. Another thing that quite frankly amazed me was when I wrote an email to the CEO of the network, George. I was already surprised to find a contact email, but when he replied to me within 4 minutes, my mind was absolutely blown. So anyway, there's my little plug for the Freedom Network, but don't take my word for it. Check out their website and channel and make up your own mind. All I ask is that you use my referral link in the description if you do decide to sign up with them. That way they'll know I sent you and give me a bit of a boost. Obviously, while taking absolutely nothing away from you. Well, that's all for this video. It's pretty hard to go over everything in such a short amount of time, but I hope you learned something nonetheless. If you have any friends that are just getting into YouTube, make sure to share this video with them and leave a like if you found it useful. On the left, you can check out my previous video, and on the right, you can check out another video somewhat similar to this one, where I talk about the reasons behind gaming videos not getting very many views. Anyway, once again, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.